Can you farm 2 mosaics before Blizzard bans the runeword? In this video, I'm going to show you how you can efficiently farm up those runes, and I also have a proposal on how we can deal with items and runewords like Mosaic in the future. I'm recording this less than 24 hours before the big update announcement for Diablo 2 Resurrected. Nobody knows exactly what is coming, but one thing everybody's sort of hoping for is that they do something about Mosaic. Possibly they ban it, remove it, nerf it, something. And since I never actually played with Mosaic, I thought now is my time. I possibly have either 24 hours or a week to enjoy this runeword, do some high-level farming before it gets potentially taken away forever. But I also have a proposal on how to deal with runewords like this going forward in the future, so please let me know what you think about that. I have been playing Diablo 2 Resurrected since the initial beta access back in 2021, I think it was. And I've played it a lot over the years, but I've never been much of an endgame player 8 type of grinder. I was always more interested in leveling up characters, trying different builds, and so I never actually got into all that really like high-level endgame farming where Mosaic shines the most, and even just farming up the Mosaic runes, even though those are pretty affordable runes in a grand scale. For a more casual player like me, getting 2 Gauls and a few Mal runes isn't as easy as it might be for some of you. Of course, that doesn't mean that I didn't have a few lucky breaks over the years. There was a time when I was farming a lot of Annihilist charms with a budget smiter, and one of them actually turned out to be almost perfect, and I was able to sell that charm for a jar rune and 4 burr runes. I still have 3 of these burr runes just sitting as an asset in my stash, but I used the other jar and burr rune to craft my very first and so far only Enigma runeword. I also found a few Shakos and traded for some of them, and so now I have a very budget lightning trap assassin rocking a Shako and an Enigma, and my strategy right now is to use that combination to farm up Neelathak, because I think it's a very straightforward, easy farm for this character. The Lightning Trap Assassin has Death Sentry, which triggers Corpse Explosion, so Neelathak is a lot less dangerous. I can also fight him safely from a distance, and since the layouts are very easy to learn, once you have Teleport, it's very easy to reach Neelathak in a very short amount of time and make this one very reliable. With a little luck and patience, you can easily trade 3 Keys of Destruction for an Istrune, so this makes it a more or less deterministic way to farm up my 2 Mosaic runewords. For context, I am playing this character on non-ladder, or as I call it, Eternal, and that's not because I don't like seasons, but as I said, I'm more of a casual player, so this Enigma that I'm using here is something that I farmed up with runes and items and assets over the last years. So playing that kind of character on ladder is almost unreachable for me at this point, so this is why I really enjoy the non-ladder play without any sort of deadline looming over me. And that gets me to my main point, because on the one hand, I can absolutely understand all the discourse and the complaints about runewords like Mosaic and what they do to the game and to the ecosystem and to the, let's say, the sanctity of the ladder season. So my proposal is, if we're gonna get rid of Mosaic, then let's get rid of it in season, but let's keep having fun on non-ladder, because there's no leaderboard. I don't know if there's any like competitive, financially important trading going on in non-ladder. If there is, please let me know. My perception is that a lot of the discourse around what the metagame should look like, what the economy should look like, all of these things revolve around ladder and the leaderboards. Therefore, I do think it's a good idea to keep an eye on the season, make sure that everything's balanced, but let people like me have their fun on non-ladder and single-player servers. Of course, by the time you're actually seeing this video, the proposed Diablo 2 updates will be publicly known, so let's see if I'm right about my guess and my proposal. Probably not, and actually on top of it, I do have a second, even more possibly controversial proposal, and I'm like 95% sure they will never do this. But if you want to hear all about it, please check out this video.